When getting together a list of anime to watch for fall 2017, one of them caught my eye. Inuyashiki was a cool title. That's pretty much all it took, and looking further into it, it also seemed pretty interesting. It was from the creator of Gantz, which is a pretty definite must-watch for really any hardcore anime fan, and it was done by Studio Mappa. So I knew I was going to get something unique from it, whether or not it was bad or good. And to tell the truth, there are many things about this anime I can just nitpick and basically complain about. But I don't think I'll go as far to do that. This anime is one of those anime where I believe there is one aspect about it that overrides another aspect's poor quality. Will I ignore those qualities that are bad? No, I will tell them to you and voice them, as these are good things to know before going into the series. But don't expect this review to be a "it's cool to hate" review or a one-sided review on it being this amazing anime. This anime has its flaws, and I intend to balance them in this review to the best of my abilities. Inuyashiki is about a man named Inuyashiki. He is a 58-year-old man with a family that doesn't really appreciate him, and when he is diagnosed with cancer, he can't seem to tell it to anyone in his family, as he feels he is alone and they don't care for him. The only way he finds friendship and comfort is with the dog he found in a box named Hanako. He takes in this dog and it becomes his only real friend in life. One night he takes his dog out for a walk to only break down in tears in a field somewhere in Tokyo. He then passes out and is woken up to find out that he doesn't have a dry throat from his cancer anymore and feels re-energized. Going to the doctor, he finds out that his cancer is gone, and he starts to question the strange dreams he had the night passed out. He then finds out that his body isn't normal anymore, but completely machine. What will he do with this new body? What can his new body do, and how will he use these powers? But the biggest question, does anyone else have this power? Find out in Inuyashiki. Inuyashiki aired in the fall of 2017 of anime, consisting of 11 episodes with a standard runtime of 24 minutes, that is adapted from the manga of the same name by Gantz creator Hiroya Oku. The anime adaptation is directed by both Keiichi Sato and Shuhei Tabuya. First up, Keiichi Sato is known for anime such as Azura, Gantz O, Tiger and Bunny, and Saint Seiya, while on the other hand, Shuya Tabuya is known for being the 3D directors for Attack on Titan Season 1, No Game, No Life. Inuyashiki is a story with incredible depth and nuance. It starts out as this series that really rips and tugs at the heart, with Inuyashiki dying because of cancer and wanting to basically never die. The show then shifts gears just as you know enough about him to focus on pretty much anyone else other than our titular character. Being 11 episodes, I'm surprised at how deep the story went. You have these incredibly nuanced topics like death, sacrifice, murder, but along with that we have hope. And hope is something that I didn't expect this series to have so, well, sprinkled throughout. Just when the series gets to these really dark points, it decides to give these moments afterwards a glimpse of hope. Resolution that isn't just more senseless killing or whatever the topic may be. Inuyashiki is so satisfying because other anime at these moments would just forego the idea of hope and continue building up these dark and sad moments. But Inuyashiki gives you that hope. Yes, a cat was ran over and the cat's kittens is crying out to their parents, but Inuyashiki is there to revive this cat and reset the mood, giving you hope and breaking the tension for a much needed respite. In my opinion, this is what makes this series so beautiful and nuanced. It will go and explore these dark topics with an extreme focus on certain points about it, but it's not jaded, it's not cynical, and at the end we know Inuyashiki will basically be our series hero that is there to make it all better. Inuyashiki is a classic hero who you've seen from decades past, where he is truly good, and because of this, he is the hope the series needs a lot of the times. Another aspect I want to talk about is the pacing. Being 11 episodes, it had to be paced in a certain way, of course. The first 8 episodes primarily focus on Hiro and really dissecting his character. Every moment not spent focusing on Hiro is spent on Inuyashiki, and if they are not focusing on either of them, there is some event that helps move the whole story forward and pushes the envelope a little. In all honesty, this is a 26 episode series jam-packed into an 11 episode series. Episode 4 feels like 12 episodes apart from episode 11. The last 3 episodes in particular has so much stuff just shoved in there that the episodes prior feels like contents of a whole movie, which is another point I'd like to bring up, that some of these episodes feel like whole movie ideas. An episode featuring a kidnapped woman being rescued by Inuyashiki could be the basis for a movie in itself. It's just amazing to me that Inuyashiki was able to pace every episode as well as it did without seeming boring or played out. Sure, there are these scenes here and there that feel shoved away to be brought back up at a later time because they just didn't have the time to explore that idea or flesh it out properly. This is the one big downfall of the series. I personally would have loved to know even more about Hiro and his family, and just Hiro in general. And that's funny to me because Hiro is really the sole focus of this series by far. Almost all of the screen time in this whole series has Hiro in it, or mentioned. Inuyashiki is our other main character, our hero, and he never really gets that much screen time, which is a shame. I love to see more about Inuyashiki's past, how he met his wife, why at such an old age he decided to have kids, things like that, which never really get answered in this anime. While hope is a huge factor in the story side of things, it's not so much in the character side of things. The story's characters feel so absolutely real, which I think is just another ism that the creator of the manga has his finger on. He knows what people are thinking all around the world. It honestly feels like he himself is in the trenches along with me and you. It doesn't feel like a writer is putting in his own personal beliefs into this character or this other character or this side character, but rather making characters out of the times, if that makes sense. For example, what we really have here in this story is a classic example of pure good versus pure evil. Inuyashiki-san is purely good. He gave his whole life to his work firm. He supports his family. He's blue collar. Hell, he even takes in a dog. Then he gets his powers and starts healing animals. Anything that is there to be helped. But what really makes Inuyashiki more relatable is that he speaks and acts like a real person. His pure good is not a realistic trait for someone to have. But when you start to add on things like him not understanding how to use a smartphone, or as another example, him not knowing how to throw punches. He's a man that, with even more development, becomes even more human and realistic. Not so much pure good anymore. It's not the good qualities that make him good. It's how human he is and how he wants to be perceived. Hiro, on the other hand, is pure evil, which, actually, now that I think about it, it may not be as true as originally intended. Hiro kills and kills and kills, as he is a sociopath. He is disconnected from his own humanity and doesn't feel like you and I. As an example, he says to his best friend in episode 1 or 2, he doesn't care about other people dying. He only cares about his friends only, no one else. And no spoilers, but even in the end, it seems like he doesn't really care about the outcome of other people, but only for the people he cares about. This is a huge departure already from Inuyashiki-san, as Inuyashiki is a person who wants to give life back to others, to help rather than take. Although Hiro, I feel, is what many people today are an example of. Now let me ask this question to you viewers, and you can answer down in the comments below. How many people do you know that have said the line, "I don't care if other people die," or something similar to that? In this day and age, I bet you right now, for at least half of the people watching, you've experienced someone saying this. And I don't mean, oh, it's too hard to care when everything happens every day. Someone who truly doesn't care. Hiro is a character I both deeply hate and care for, all at the same time. I don't want to see anything bad happen to Hiro, but when he does something bad, I want to see the repercussions put upon him. He's not a black and white character, as he's more of a person who is deeply flawed. What I'm trying to say is, in my own personal opinion, I believe he is a sociopath that may have been created from his own society. That to me is more interesting than a villain in Star Wars or Marvel. Hiro to me is a true scary villain, one that frightens me. And he frightens me because I know there are people out there that think this way, that act this way, that have these thoughts. And that is really, really down to earth and relatable. The art direction here goes for a more modern and realistic tone to it. I believe they went with this over a cartoon feel like other anime because it helps set the tone visually for what it is and what it needed. But does it work out the way they wanted it to? Well, to simply answer, I don't think it was anywhere near perfect by any means, but at the same time, the story more than makes up for its faults in the art. Let's get into why I think that is. The art direction they went for was the correct one to pursue, but I think because of budgeting constraints, it wasn't as sharp or clean as they maybe wanted it to be. Honestly, most people really won't care for the art or notice it, as its quality is something that reminds me of Standalone Complex, which is a beloved series of course, but in a way that if Standalone Complex was never really updated and the CGI was not as good as it is in Standalone Complex and was bad. Background shots are pretty well detailed though, but there was just some episodes where the budget really shows. Characters looking very blurry in the face or just all chopped up and messy, or losing details and shaders in some scenes. Basically what you want to expect from Inuyashiki in this field is something that you won't mind looking at. It's not terrible, it's not the worst though, but go in expecting a budgeted art direction and you'll be good to go. The animation, maybe not the best in the world. Inuyashiki aims for a blend of traditional animation with CGI elements in tow. In terms of an art perspective, there are some great CGI models, especially when you observe the inside of Hiro and Inuyashiki's robotic chassis. When in movement, everything really starts to fall apart though. Things look incredibly cheap sometimes, and while nothing is as bad as Black Clover, because you can't really get as bad as that, it gets to the point where some things look a little stiff when they shouldn't be. Animation is not something that will really stand out for being good, but rather looking cheap. Then again, this may all be cleared up with a Blu-ray release and a little more work. So pretty much like art direction, go in expecting a budgeted experience, but also expect that the story will make up for both of the faults, in my opinion, that the art and animation have. Because everyone is talking about it, let's start the score off with the opening, My Hero, by Man with a Mission, a Japanese rock band that, in name and look, is homage to Bad Religion's album, Man with a Mission. The opening song, My Hero, lends itself to more of the rap rock side of things, but don't let that fool you. Man with a Mission was able to write a song that fit the story of Inuyashiki. Of course, I won't be analyzing the song here, there are others who could do it better than me, but I will go on record as saying it's tied with me for the opening of 2017, with MMO Junkie's Saturday Night Question. As for the rest of the series, it's another one of those that is minimalistic, which I can't tell if it was genius or a necessity because of their budget. But the score is great otherwise, and the last episode really shines as the best example the score has to offer. So look out for that in the last episode, and look out for it in the first and second episodes as well, as those episodes really have good examples of the scoring. Inuyashiki is a special anime. It's not perfect, which knocks it down some pegs, sure, but it still has a story that was beautifully told in the 11 episodes that it had. Through its limitations, it gave us a truly great, can't-miss anime series. In my opinion, Inuyashiki gets a 9 out of 10. Now, this score may seem high to some, but I thought that the story, characters, and visual storytelling all made up for its faults technically with the art and animation. I still felt that it didn't hit 10 for those reasons, and because it had a score that just needed a little bit of an extra push, which I felt it did get. And a lot of people may not know this, but anime like Inuyashiki, Gantz, Cowboy Bebop, those are all anime that are my bread and butter. I grew up with the creator of Inuyashiki technically. I was raised on anime that told a story first and did everything else second. This to me stands right up there with anime like Monster when we talk about the story. Is it really right to compare the two? Well, no. But Inuyashiki found a way into my heart, and because it did, it's already one step ahead of many other anime on the market. Honestly, this one was so close to being an 8 out of 10, but I just felt that this one showed the quality of an anime that I saw was a 9 out of 10. So thank you guys for watching this review. This anime, you can find it on Anime Strike. This one's another Anime Strike exclusive, which there are 2 other anime that you should check out. I know you're going, Anime Strike, that's terrible. There are 2 other anime from it that are amazing, and that's Made in Abyss and Princess Principal. Both of them came out this year, both of them amazing, both of them, maybe not Princess Principal as much, but are critical hits. So go check those out. And by the way, did my review help you to watch Inuyashiki? Do you disagree with my review? Do you disagree with my score? I have a feeling a lot of people in the Discord chat, the Discord server, which there is a link for in the description, which you go click on it now, may disagree with me, which I think is fine, personally, because a lot of people in the Discord chat, all of us kind of watched Inuyashiki together, in a way, so that was really fun. They really helped me kind of craft this review. So I give this review in particular, I give a lot of credit to the Discord server. And you could help craft these reviews and help me word out things and help me figure out what I want to say simply by joining the Discord server, of course. And we'll watch seasonal anime and we'll talk about it every week. That's what the Discord server is for, my friends. But besides the Discord server, I really enjoyed this anime. I hope you all really enjoyed this anime. It's the only 9 out of 10 anime I've given this year, and I think it earned it. I don't think there's any other anime, in my opinion, that was close to the level and story of Inuyashiki. And I think the art and animation were budgeted. They weren't as good as others, but when I really started to think about it, when I sat down with all of these thoughts and I read other people's reviews and I looked at footage again and stills and screenshots and made comparisons to other anime that came out this year. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. It really wasn't. Compare it to Made in Abyss, Princess Principal, other Just Anime Strike anime, and honestly, it's the worst of those three I mentioned. But if you go back and you look at other anime, I mean, there's so much detail in Inuyashiki that it kind of makes up for its budget. And I think they used the budget well. And sure, you can probably, if you really wanted to, personally, you could probably get, and if you follow, by the way, the same kind of review scoring as I do, which is pretty much a modified version of the My Anime List review score, you could probably get this up to a 10 out of 10 if you really, really wanted to. You could find ways to do it. But to me, I didn't felt that was necessary. I felt that this earned the 9 out of 10. There's not a lot of anime I'll give a 9 out of 10. I'll say that right now. And Inuyashiki, I felt just deserved it. And no, it earned it. It earned it. It did not deserve it. It earned it. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this Fall 2017 season. This is the last anime from the Fall 2017 season I will be reviewing for quite a bit, as Magus' Bride doesn't end until March, I think. Something like that. So, or April. But, thanks guys for watching the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next review, which is Akemi ga Kill, which is coming out on a Wednesday, which is 2 days from now. So, love ya. See you later.